Hello and welcome to today's bone reading stream. I hope you guys are well, and I do have the priority list here in the exact order of priority. So we have Ankita in, and she was first on priority anyway. So we're going to do, for the list, we will do a priority at the top and non-priority at the bottom. So if priority people jump in, they do get a higher spot because they've been waiting on other streams. So it's just fair. So let's see. So for non-priority, we have Sid and Pooja. For priority, we have Candy. You're on priority as well. So we have Candy. We only got through 4 last time, so hopefully we can get through a few more this time. Yeah, so Rain and Jasmine, I will add you to the non-priority list. But as we go and as we're taking people off, you guys will be added to the next priority, if that makes sense. So it's like these people are first, these people will become priority once these people have had their readings. So yeah, hoping we get through a few more than 4 because we did only get through 4 last time. Leela as well, you're on priority. So I think we will get to you. That's only 3. So I think we're guaranteed to get Ankita, Candy, and Leela done. We will see if any more priority people jump in. And if not, we will sort on the non-priority list. So yeah, you very may well get a reading. We'll see how long we can go for. Let's see. So it's 6:45 now. Maybe we could do I think we could do almost 2 hours. So hopefully we get through more than 4. So yeah, so I'll keep the list. Where can I put the list? Keep it handy. Maybe there. I know you can't see it, but it doesn't tell me when it's buffering anymore. It used to tell me when it's buffering. I did notice when I watched back the live highlight that YouTube sent me that there has been some buffering lately. There's not really much I can do about it. My internet connection says it's strong, so I'm not 100% on it. But let's try anyway. If it's really bad, let me know and we will end it and try again. But yeah, let's try to get started at least. So some of you saw the post and some of you were on the video as well, where I was varnishing the schools. And I definitely would do a second layer, but I think they're okay to use today. We'll test it out. So we have these, and the mouse score, we do have to be very careful with that one. So there's a lot of new bones added. Okay, I'm wondering if I should prioritize the people who it's not buffering for on this stream then. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I don't want to give someone a reading and then not really hear it. So I'm a bit worried about that. Ankita, is it really bad for you, or do you think we could go ahead with your reading? I will start getting the bones and things ready. You guys let me know. As I go setting the bones and crystals out, let me know if it gets any better or any worse. I'll always prioritize you guys another time when it's working better for you, because I don't want to give you a reading where you're not really getting it, you know? So, Rabbit Skull, I keep forgetting. If I'm not sure, we shouldn't really use it. Let's leave these two for now because I think that's bird spine, but I'm not. I think that's bird spine. Let me have a think about that. This one I still need to ask about, so we'll leave that one for now. But we have rabbit skull, mouse skull. We're saying bird spine for now. If I feel too unsure, I will take it out. But I'm pretty sure it's a bird spine. Shark tooth. So try to listen to what they are. So you can choose two of each for your reading and let me know. You know, if you let me know in advance, like some people did on the last stream, it did help us to get through a little bit quicker. Fox tooth. Oh no, we're not using that just yet. What's this one? Sheep tooth. So there's our seabird spine. So have a variation of bird spine and seabird spine. Have different meanings. Then we have, so I'm barely adding to the bones. I'm very, very happy about that. Antler. Chicken foot. I haven't managed to open the crowfoot jar yet, so we're not using crowfeet just yet, but that will become one of them. So we have our pointing shells as well. We have our, I keep forgetting, I think someone said it was a conch shell? Not 100%. But oyster, we have oyster as well. And then the Shiva shell, of course. And we have a rabbit toe. And then, oh, we also have part of a deer that's been carved into like a little, it's a bone of a deer, but it's been carved into that shape. And then we have our crystals. Oh, buffalo tooth as well. The bone collection is getting big. I'm very happy about that. So we have our, I don't know why I forgot the name of this one. A bismuth. Sunstone, quartz, bloodstone, mookaite, smoky quartz, malachite, and then those are the ones whose name I've forgotten. So you could just choose the colour of that if you want one of those. I'm really sorry that I forgot that. But I found my wand. This is my Apollo wand that a client made me a very, very long time ago. And this is what I like to use to point. I was using the feather yesterday, but the day before. But I have found my wand, so I'm very, very happy. So let's just check the chat now. Remember, you're choosing two of each. So let's see. Kieran says, Aslita says, I can hear. And Keita says, no, I didn't know what you're saying no to, sorry. Sid is not American. Yeah, Sid is UK. Yeah, I mean, Ankita, you're first on the list. I'm happy to do that. I don't want to do it if you don't get to hear it, you know? I feel like that would be a waste. Oliver TJB, hello, welcome. When Ankita says when we do low quality setting it works, but with higher resolution it doesn't. Okay, yeah, so maybe you're turning it from, you mean like from 1080p to a bit lower? If that works, you know? So, but Ankita, if you could choose 2 bones, 2 shells, and 2 crystals, I'd greatly appreciate that so we can begin. Shelley, yes, you're very welcome to be added. You will be added to the non-priority list though. So I do have to say, so just add you here. So I do have to say that as we move through the priority people, you guys who are on today will then become priority on the next stream, if that makes sense. So we'll see how many we get through. At the moment, we've got 2, 4, 6, 9. We have 9. Maybe we'll get through 9 in about an hour and 45 minutes. It's possible. Yeah, Kieran, you're oh wait, Kieran. Oh, let's see, when did you jump in? Let me see. So you had Ankita, Pooja, Sid, Candy, Ankita, Pooja, Rain, Leela, Kieran. Yeah, so you're after Leela. Because you were on priority. So that's the order that the priority people came in. Ankita, Candy, Leela, Kieran. But we should definitely get those done. We got 4 done yesterday, so we should definitely get those done at least. So let's see. But guys, if it's buffering really bad, either do what Ankita suggests, which is turning the quality down, or just try to come back at a different time. I just don't want your reading to be not hearable, you know? So let's see. Yeah, Kieran, you're 4th on the list. It goes in order of the priority people that came in. So if we get started now, you know, it shouldn't be too long. Yeah, a lot of people have been telling me it's happening, but usually when it buffers, it shows me the like buffering cycle on the screen. So it's definitely on you guys' end. It must be. It has been on my end many times, but it shows me when it's on my end. Kieran, yes, you're 4th, but we got through 4 the day before last, so we will definitely get to you. We definitely get through at least 4. But Ankita, please choose. We can get started if you choose. So 2 bones, 2 shells, 2 crystals. Please choose. And if anybody else, Ankita, Candy, Leela, and Kieran, if you could all choose, it would help us get through it quicker. So chicken foot, buffalo tooth, antler, sheep tooth, shark tooth, deer, bird spine, seabird spine, fox tooth, mouse skull, rabbit toe, rabbit skull, oyster, I don't remember the name of that shell, or pointing shells, or Shiva shell, or bismuth, bloodstone, sunstone, smoky quartz, mookaite, malachite, and stones I don't remember the name of, unfortunately. But you can choose, go by the color of those if you're wanting one of those. Candy, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that. Ankita, are you hearing me? Firebird, yes, of course you can be added. Unfortunately, you'll be on the non-priority list, so we might not make it to you today, but I keep hold of the priority lists. Anybody on priority who pops in first. We're probably going to do this stream like every other day this month, because I won't be able to do it whilst I'm in America, because I don't want to travel with animal bones. I might be questioned at customs about that. So I'm going to do a lot of bone reading this month. So don't worry, it's going to be every other day. It's bone reading is a general reading. We have different sections: social and friendship, love and friendship, advice and guidance, spirit and self, home and family, health and well-being, finance and wealth, career and business. It depends where the bones land. So we can't guarantee that it's going to be about career. If your bones fall there, then yes, it will be. So Ankita, can you please choose 2 bones, 2 crystals, and 2 okay, yes, I'll choose for you. If anyone wants me to choose for them, I'm very happy to do that. Who else did we have in there? Samina, hello and welcome. Samina, you are on priority, so I'll add you after Kieran. You're 5th on the list at the moment, so hopefully we get to you. But let's begin. So anyone else who rolls in, I'll just have to check the comments after this reading. Let's begin with Kieran. So if you're wanting definitely a chicken foot, but me to choose everything else, I'm going to choose for you. Seabird spine, oyster, a punching shell, a sunstone, and this one, which I don't remember the name of. So let's just put our crystals to the side here, put our bones here, out of the way. And shells here. Okay, so this is for Kieran. So do have to focus on Kieran's energy a little bit here. So we hold the bones just above the yin yang, the center, and we drop them as we feel drawn to do. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So in the bone reading, the yin yang is the present moment. As we go out of the outward through the ribbons here, this gets more distant future, if that makes sense. So this is probably the most present thing, and then this. Oh, don't move it, and then this, then these. You know, as they where they land, that it's a little bit more further future. So do bear that in mind as I'm reading. You know, if you're getting something that's positive or negative, but it's like more out here, it may be that it's you know, it's something you have to think about, remember it for the future. So we'll go with the chicken foot first. Now, the chicken foot is a good one to choose because it is about luck and protection. The chicken foot is a very, very positive omen, and we have to look at where it begins and where it ends. So generally, it's and also we could look at where it passes through as well. We can do that. So it begins a career in business. So actually, you asked about that. This is the only thing that landed in that section, but this is a very positive omen, and it's not in the it is the nearest future, or you know, so it's a positive omen for career and business. It's good luck in career and business, basically. So you know, if you're worried about something or worried about that path, it seems like you're having good luck on that path. There also might be, as we pass through social and friendships, good luck and good omens in social and friendships. So this can be things like making up with friends that you've fallen out with, making new friends, resolving issues between friends. You know, it can be many things regarding mainly those friends, you know, those even maybe meeting soul family members. You know, we have very good luck in the social and friendship section. We might meet some of our soul family, things like that. But yes, resolving issues with friends is very possible. It's a good luck omen for friendship. But the end of the chicken foot, which is the claw, that is it's suggesting of negativity is coming your way in some way, but you're going to be protected from it. Something's going to protect you from it or prevent it, you know? So this is about clawing away negativity and protection. It does land a little bit in the friendship section. You can see one of the claws is in the friendship section. So you may be protected from some negativity from, you know, this could be jealous friends or people who are not, you know, they appear as friends, but they're not really, things like that. You could have protection around things like that. But it's mostly in the love and partnership section. So there could be some negativity coming to you in that section, which could be things like, you know, the wrong person coming into the path, like you know, someone with red flags, someone who's not good for you. Or it could just be arguments with a positive partner. You know, can still relate to a positive partner, but it's protecting you. It's protecting you on your love path. in any way that that manifests. So, you know, it can land this way for people who have a partner, and it may be protecting them from arguments or breaking up or whatever it might be. It can protect you on your path, so you're not, you know, if you do meet someone here in this near future, but they're not good for you, you'll be protected from that. You'll be guided away. So yeah, it's a positive protection on the love path, making sure you're going on the right path on the love path. So that's nice. So we also have the sunstone. I chose the sunstone for you because it's the abundance stone, and you know, maybe I was a little bit hopeful that it would land in career or wealth, but the abundance stone is an advice and guidance. So what that would suggest, it generally does, mostly it links to monetary abundance, you know, material abundance. If it lands in spirit and self, it could be spiritual abundance. If it lands in like love and partnership, it could be abundance of love. But generally, it's a monetary, material abundance. That's what it represents. And it's in advice and guidance. So what this is saying to you is somewhere in the near future, you see it's not too present, but it's not too distant. You're going to have some very positive advice or guidance. So it's going to be someone, you know, it could be a mentor or a teacher or a friend or just anyone that you kind of interact with that's going to give very positive advice and guidance. That if you take that advice and guidance, it's going to bring you good luck and abundance. So, you know, it might be advice on you know, your current pursuit. It might be advice about, you know, just anything regarding your like study or work path or anything monetary related. They could give you some advice on that. So do look out in the near future for advice that you're given that does revolve around money and work, because sometimes it might seem like when people give advice that they're being a bit you know, pretentious or trying to like look down on you a little bit, but no, this person's giving very positive advice that will help you, so try to look out for that. And then if you do take on that advice, you have very positive omen of luck and abundance, so that's great. On next one, I would say we're going to the oyster. So it's interesting, the oyster, the pointing shell has landed right in the oyster. And it was a little bit more like that way. I shouldn't move them when I'm reading, but sometimes I do. So this is spirit and self. This is the spirit and self section. And the oyster lands mostly here. But if we look like this, it does a little bit of the oyster going into the home and family section. It's kind of overlapping the ribbon a little bit. So we can take some message from that as well. So with the shells, we want them to land that way. You know, they can land that way and then something's closed off, you know? If they land this way, it's a positive omen. So your oyster has landed the right way, the way that we want it. And the oyster is a very, you know, it's a luxurious symbol if you think about oysters, you know. It's a luxurious symbol and it's about what you deserve. It's all about what you deserve. And it's in spirit and self. So it could simply be saying that your higher self, your guides, God, you know, the spirit, the higher energies are giving you good karma, giving you what you deserve. It could simply be saying that. But if you are a bit more on your spiritual path yourself, like trying to enhance your spiritual gift yourself, it could also be that you advance them. You're advancing spiritual gifts in some way and you deserve it. It's like a good karma is coming in the spirit and self kind of path, but it can just be that they're guiding you onto the right path. So do make sure you're connecting with, you know, God or your spirit guides or anything like that. Make sure you're checking in with them, doing like maybe prayers every now and then, you know, because it also says, you know, the pointing shell is in the oyster, so it is kind of telling us that the spirit and self is important. But with this pointing shell, we really have to look at where it's pointing. And if we look at where it landed, it's actually pointing to the advice and guidance section. So it also say that you may be receiving important advice and guidance from your higher self or from your guides. So sometimes we do get messages through and we discount them because we just think it's some silly thought that we had, some silly idea that we had. But I would say in this near future, be a bit more confident about the things that come into your mind, the messages that you get, the ideas that come into your mind, because it's very likely they'll be divinely guided. You are going to receive some advice from your higher self or God or spirit, anything like that. So my suggestion now would be keeping up with any spiritual practices that you do, meditation, prayer, things like that. So getting what you deserve on your path is very prominent, and getting some advice and guidance from your guides, that's very important to your life path to listen to, is very prominent. Then we have, it's landed a little bit, sorry I've moved it, but at least we've spoken about that now. It's landed a little bit in the home and family section as well. So it can link a little bit to getting what you deserve in home and family. So if you are, it could be about starting a family, like it could be a positive omen about starting a family, it could be a positive omen about getting the home that you want if you're looking for a home, it could be the home that you deserve, the family that you deserve, and it can even be about, um, your any family that might, not discount you, how can I say it, like be a bit negative towards you, might begin to value you a little bit more, because the Easter is all about your value and what you deserve. So family might begin to value you more if they've been a bit, negative towards you. You could be having positive path of starting your own family or finding your own home if that's what you're looking for. Now, the next one, that's because we're going in like kind of order of time, rather than, this one's the most distant future. So we'll go with the seabird spine first. Now, the seabird spine is all about taking a step of independence. It's like it symbolizes fleeing the nest. It's very similar to the bird's nest card in the Akashic deck, which you've probably come across before. It's about fleeing the nest, taking on your own individual path where you have more freedom, but you also have more responsibility, and that's in finance and wealth. So getting more freedom can be maybe getting like a job where you're trusted with a little bit more, or promotion, or a better opportunity, but you have a bit more responsibility because it's a higher opportunity, maybe better pay, but you have more freedom because you're trusted more in this position. Sometimes it represents going on to your own business and starting your own business, but not always. But you have more freedom, but there is more responsibility that comes with that. So you do have to bear that in mind and be mindful that although it's a positive omen for finance and wealth, you may get a bit more responsibility than you have now. And then this stone, which I did forget its name, and I do apologize for that, but it's for learning and how do I say it? Really paying attention. So it's in the health and well-being section, and it's the most distant future. So it's not something that's going to come up straight away, but it's telling you to pay attention to your health. So I would say, as a bit of time passes, as you pass into this more distant future, any health issue that arises, anything that might be of a bother to you health wise, don't ignore it. Definitely go and get checked, whether it's medically or therapy, or whether it's a holistic therapist like, Reiki or acupuncture or whatever it might be. In this a bit more distant future, there might be something that comes up in your health that you need to pay attention to. It could even be that, as you pass along this path, you're really focused on your work, you're really focused on, a lot of positive like work kind of messages are coming through. Maybe you start to not look after your health as much, and maybe it's just saying get back onto a better diet, exercise a little bit more. It can be that simple. It's not necessarily pointing to anything serious. I can't diagnose here or tell you that anything serious is going to happen, but it's just about paying more attention to your physical health. But there's also a learning aspect to the stone, so it could even represent that you begin to go onto a path of learning about healing in some way yourself, whether that's learning like Reiki or holistic therapy or actual therapy or becoming an actual medical, some in the medical field in some way. It can link to that. It can be about learning, actually learning about health and well-being yourself and maybe doing a course or something, a course. But it could just simply be remember to look after your health. Be mindful about looking after your health. So that was Kieran. So love, light, and blessings. I'm glad we got to you. So let's put the bones back and go for our next person, who actually Candy told me what you wanted. So I'm very grateful for that, because we are on to Candy now. So tick Candy off because we're definitely getting to Candy. So let's just check the comments here. But it's only happening in your life somehow from some oh, I think I read that one. So I am fourth on the list. Yeah, well you're third now. We're on to Candy now. Hey Venus, can I be added? Oh, yeah, I think I did add you. Yeah, I've read these ones. Candy, thank you. So let's get Candy's ones. So Candy wants rabbit score, antelope. It's antler actually. I know it must be my accent. It might sound like I say antelope. I believe it's a stag antler, but yes, we'll still use it, of course. So you want that? Shiva shell, yes, love it. If you don't have the, oh, I forgot the snake skin. Where did I put the snake skin? The snake skin is supposed to be added, but you only get 2 out of the animal section anyway. So I'll add the snake skin on the next one. I apologize about that. Although if you want free animal, I get the snake skin. If you want free, I think I know where it is. If you get free, that's here. If you get free animal bones, I will just do 2 crystals in 1 shell. That's fine. If you want to choose 6 elements and you don't want to do 2 of each, that's fine. And the snake skin is good. No one's used it yet, so I'm intrigued about where does my land? Oh, I nearly fell on the bone. I would need to not do that. Okay. So we do have the snake skin. I apologize, guys. I forgot to mention in the animal section we do have snake skin. So let's just grab that out there. There we go. So, I've broken this a little bit. Oh no. Right, so we have snake skin. Snake skin. Antler, rabbit skull, Shiva shell. So I'm going to choose. So you do still need. I have 2 shells. Oh, that's a bit. Let's see. I'm thinking. I want to choose this stone for you. I'm very drawn to that one. I think also I will choose the clear quartz. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. So I have 3 animal elements, 1 shell, and 2 crystals. It's fine to do it that way if that's what you want. Hello, Samina. You're already added. You're already added. And Kita says, I don't know about my career. I started first internship ever yesterday. So that, please, and anything regarding this. Oh yeah, I'm reading comments I've already read. What am I doing? And Kita says, yes, don't go to the airport with these. Exactly. That's why I'm really focusing on them this month, because I'm like, I do not want to get checked at customs and then be like, why do you have a rabbit school in your suitcase? Samina says, you choose for me, as I have no idea of this. Interested in know my love life. Okay, so we'll choose things a little bit linked to love then. Sorry if I didn't choose the right crystals for you, Ankita. City, should I jump out and come back in, or is it unlikely you'll get to me as I'm not on the priority list? You're first on the non-priority, so if we do get through, we're on Candy now. I do think we'll get through S. Leela, Kieran, and Samina. I do think we'll get through those. But you're first on the. You can jump out. You're very welcome to jump out. But yeah, I do think we might get to you. No, that was Ankita's. That reading was Ankita's reading. Guys, that was Ankita's reading. Ankita, if you're unsure about that, please go back. That was Ankita's reading. Miss Venus, hello, welcome. I will add you because the as we tick people off the priority list, those that come in, then you move up on the priority list. So it's unlikely we'll get to you, but at least you're on there. So you'll go higher and higher on the priority list as we get through them. There's going to be a bone reading stream probably every other day this month. Thank you, Miss Venus. Please don't forget to like the video. I appreciate that. Thank you, Jasmine, for moderating. Flower Beauty, hello. Yeah, it's been buffering for a few people. Ankita does suggest turning it to a lower quality, and it might be better. I think there's a mix-up that was for Ankita. Yeah, I thought you just maybe I got confused. I'm sorry if I said Kieran. I'm really sorry. Yeah, I must have thought it was Ankita saying that I can choose for you. The universe must have wanted me to choose for you, Kieran. That was your reading. I was focused. If I said the wrong name, I apologize, but I focused on your energy. So, guys, I do really apologize about that. Yeah, it was Ankita. So, if you zoned out a little bit because you thought it wasn't for you, just rewind back. I greatly apologize. I did think it was you that said, Kieran, you didn't feel it resonates. That's good. That's good. Yeah. So Ankita, I greatly apologize. I greatly apologize. But that was your reading. So if you want to go back and pay a bit more attention to that, then please do that. I greatly apologize about that if I've mixed that up. I must have read Kieran's message thinking it was yours. Yeah, I apologize about that. But it's Candy, S. Leela, Kieran, Samina. So we do. Yours is coming up. If we can get on with this one, we can get moving forward. But yeah, I greatly apologize if I've mixed up names there, and I must have read Kieran's message thinking it was yours. But everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. I was focused on Ankita's energy, so it was for Ankita. I apologize for any mix-up, but the energy I was focusing on is the energy that it was for. It was for you, Ankita, and greatly apologize. Go back and watch if you didn't pay that much attention. And Kieran, I apologize too. I must have read Kieran's message thinking it was Ankita. I'm very sorry about that. Yeah, I'm really sorry about that. No, this is Candy. This is you. Yeah, so it's Candy, S. Leela, Kieran, Samina. That's the order. Yeah, that was for you, Ankita. I'm really sorry. If so, I must have read Kira's message thinking it was yours, but I feel like these things happen for a reason. The universe must have wanted me to choose what I chose. Everything happens for a reason, but I do apologize. So, let's get on with Candy. This is Candy. I don't want to, if I say anybody else's name, please forgive me. This is Candy, okay? Candy, Leela, Kieran, Samina. So let's get through it. So the first time ever using the rabbit skull, I'm very excited. Antler, Shiva Shell. Oh, sorry. Wolfstone, Clear Quartz, and Snakeskin, which we also have not used yet. Oh. So that actually was me then. That was definitely from my side. I was buffering then. So do we still have Candy? I apologize about that. Is Candy still here? Just let me know that you're still here. I'll continue with that. I don't know what's going on with our internet. It completely disconnected me from the internet. Okay, Candy, great. So let's try this. Hopefully I don't disconnect again. I'll have to pay a bit of attention to the screen. Yeah, that was definitely from my end. That was my end. Good night, Ankita. Great. And Candy did say yes, still here. Okay. So, like we said, the yin yang is the present moment. As we head out of the ribbons here, we are going further into the future. So, we have present moment right now. So, rabbit skull, it's very indicative of, so rabbit in general, it's very indicative of love and abundance of love often is what we get with the rabbit energy. And it's actually quite unfortunate that we have the rabbit skull upside down, because it is suggesting that there may be some issues on the love path at the current moment. So that could be arguments or conflicts with a current partner. It could be just a block on finding a partner. There's some issue around a partner at the moment, in the current moment, as we see. But the antler is telling us, so the antler begins in love and partnership, and it ends in finance and wealth, which is quite interesting, and it's kind of very present. So it's interesting the way this is telling us there's some kind of block, but this one is giving us more of a positive omen. So it may be a block that's not too big for you to work through. As we do have to look at how they land together, how they align with each other. So because this is the love and partnership section, and we have the antler starting here. Now, it starts here, but where it points is a little bit more important. This is about it's about having gentle but firm conversations, the antler. It's about getting out what you need to say and saying it, and make sure you're speaking your truth, but not being too firm to where you're shouting or putting someone off, that kind of energy. So we do have that. It's being fair, not shy, but not aggressive. It's like that middle ground of being firm but gentle, if we can do that. And it begins in the love and partnership section. So it could suggest that this issue might revolve around a conversation that needs to be had. Maybe some feelings need to be spoken about, or an issue in a, like, isn't this a relationship kind of thing? Maybe there's some conversations going on there like that. But we have to look at where it's pointing, which is finance and wealth. So this is interesting because if we get Gentle and firm conversations about finance and wealth generally could be, needing to have a talk with your manager about a promotion, like, oh, I deserve more pay or this or that, so a difficult conversation that you might have to have with a manager or a business partner or, something like that, or in an interview, one of those things. But because we're heading from love and partnerships, it actually may suggest that if you have not met somebody yet, you may meet in a workplace. So in your workplace or in their workplace, or you might work in the same place. It might be something like that. Like you might enter, let's say my example would be they work in a coffee shop. Maybe you go in there and you hit it off, that kind of thing. The coffee shop's just an example, but it can be meeting someone in their workplace, or them coming into your workplace, or working in the same place. So gentle but firm conversations might just link to when you do meet this person, being trying to be clear about your feelings, trying not to be too shy, that kind of energy. Like sometimes we're attracted to someone, we worry too much that they might not be attracted to us, so we just don't bother even trying to put ourselves forward. So it might be a little bit of guidance to put yourself forward when you meet this person, and it's in the current chapter. So as I always say, the current chapter can be around 3 months, and it depends where you're at. Are you just beginning this current chapter? Are you halfway through it? So it can be like 1 to 3 months, I would say. It can be 1 day to 3 months, really. It could happen tomorrow if it's in the present section, but it can be up to 3 months. And then, of course, as we head out, we go like 6 months, 9 months. We have that kind of energy. But it does depend where you're at in your current situation. So, what's a bit of a negative omen for love, but also a bit of hope? It's kind of like maybe there's issues going on, but then maybe there's issues. Maybe the issues are with a different person, and then a new person enters your life. You know, or it could be that you begin with this person, and then some red flags come up or something like that, and maybe you have to talk about, discuss things like that. Um, but there is some message of at least something on the love path going on there. But we do have a bit of um, a balance between, you know, maybe some positive energy, maybe some negative energy, maybe something that just needs working through, It doesn't have to be super negative, it doesn't have to be a huge red flag or a breakup. It might just be something to work through. Now, as we head out the next on the timeline we're getting here, now this is very, very nice in comparison to this, because this message gives us a little bit of cognitive dissonance, because we're getting a bit of a negative omen with love and a bit of a hope with love. So it's very kind of like, do we, don't we, will we, won't we, it's that kind of energy. But as we head out to the slightly more distant future, we're getting these two stones very close together, which does mean that they are linked. They've landed in the same section, which is home and family, but this is the love stone, specifically about romantic love. And this stone is about clarity. So you're getting some clarity on the love path. So whatever happens here, whatever this kind of issue is that happens here, you get clarity on it, and most likely a resolution. But it's in the home and family section, so it could be at the point where you're meeting members of their family, or they're meeting members of your family, or it could be at the point where maybe maybe you just meet in this workplace, but you don't hit it off just yet, and maybe you're introduced through family. Maybe a member of their family knows you, or your family knows them, and you could be introduced through family. This might be when the love actually blossoms, and this could just be issues with um, something that doesn't work out, as we have the negative omen. So it could be something that doesn't quite work out, then this love blossoming here in the distant future. So we do have to think about it like that. How is that going to manifest for you? But there are some warnings, there is some guidance at least, but do be firm but gentle with your feelings, expressing your feelings. Don't be too shy, but don't be too forward. It's that kind of energy. But then I would say the snakeskin comes a bit before the spirit and self. And the snakeskin is shedding old skin and it's in love and partnerships. It's all about releasing the past, cutting cords, healing the past, forgetting about, particularly, of course, negative parts of the past. So it is a really positive one, the snake skin. But you're releasing the past of love and partnerships. So to me, that would maybe give me a bit more insight into this. That maybe this is something that doesn't quite work out, and then this is something that does. And the old skin you're shedding, sorry, is linked to this thing that doesn't quite work out. That's maybe what I would say. Or if you're still attached to an ex, if this is one person you meet in the workplace, have a bit of an issue, then you resolve the issue. This could just be that you're finally fully releasing an ex, or they're finally fully releasing an ex. It's a very positive omen for just putting the past behind you in love and partnerships. So it's good, but it does suggest that there's something that may need to be released. Now, as we can see, it leans slightly a little bit over to advice and guidance. So there could be someone, whether that's a friend, family member, even, like a spiritual guide, like if you get a reading online or something like that, could even be that. But it's advice and guidance about shedding that skin. So it could even be, well, it's in the more near future, distant future, so it wouldn't be this reading. But you could get a message like, if you go to a healer, they might say, oh, I've cut a cord to an ex, or I've cut a cord to this person that's still holding on to you, or, maybe you do it yourself, maybe you naturally release that cord. But there's some level of advice and guidance from someone that helps you with that, helps you with shedding old skin. So if someone does give advice and guidance about releasing the past, or they cut cords for you, or they, just any kind of insight about releasing the past in the near future, I would say, I'll just take that advice. It's about, sometimes we don't take advice, sometimes we ignore it. But this is about any advice that comes up about shedding old skin, releasing the past, cutting cords. We would say yes to that and take that advice on. Now, the Shiva shell is the last one. It's most distant future, but it's landed the very positive way. If we look at it, this is the way it's landed, with the spiral on the front. It can land this way, and that's kind of not really the way we want it. We do want it to land the way you had it, which is the spiral at the front. This is a very positive omen for, let me just try to fix this music. This is a very positive omen for your spiritual path, spiritual enlightenment, spiritual awakenment, stronger connection to guides, stronger connection to higher self, stronger connection to your true calling and your true path. It's just a very positive omen for anything like that. If you're taking on spiritual practices at the moment and you don't feel much benefit from them, I would keep going with them, because there's going to be some advancement, some how can I say it, benefit from it in the future. So that's a really positive one for, like I said, guides, the spiritual path, connecting with your true purpose, maybe. Just a very, very positive message. The Shiva shell to land the right way in the spirit and self section is just perfect. That's exactly where and how you would want it to land. So that's great. Let's see the messages here. Teresa says you're a witch. Yes, but a white witch. I'm a white witch. If you were to call me a witch, you would call me a white witch. I don't really take that title. I'm just Venus, but so Candy says in a relationship is, so I guess it's home related. Very interesting. Definitely open to advice in shedding the past. Yeah, so it could just be if you're in a relationship, it could be a conversation that comes up that brings more finance and more wealth, because we're pointing to more finance and more wealth. So it could just be a positive omen about more finance and more wealth in the current relationship. But we just do have to look out for this. There is something, some kind of issue. It could be a small argument. It could be something that, is easily resolved, because we do see the positivity there. So yeah, if you're in a relationship, it's very likely to be, maybe it's advice, maybe it's a conversation about taking on more money in some way, whether that's a, you know, side project or promotion or whatever it might be, or it might just be something that eventually leads you to more finance and wealth. But there definitely is something that you might have to talk through with the rabbit skull being the wrong way. But yeah, it could be very small, you know, it could be something not to worry about. You know, I definitely don't like to tell people it's super, super serious. Sometimes it's just a warning, it's a guidance, you know. There might be an argument coming up. Try to be in your um, mediator, calm, high energies for it. But we do see love and resolution, home and family. If you haven't moved in together yet, it could represent that, you know? But there's a lot of clarity coming, which definitely suggests resolution of whatever the argument is. And the love stone is further in the future, so that's really positive. But yeah, shedding old skin's always good. And don't forget, guys, as I always say with cord cutting as well, shedding old skin can sometimes be our exes or people who have interest in us. We don't just have cords reaching to others, they have cords reaching to us. So it could be that you release cords that someone else has coming to you, you know? So yeah, do be mindful of that as well. So yeah, that was for Candy. Oh, you're listening to light language about releasing the past and parallel lives. That's interesting. So it could even relate to that. It could be a love partnership from a past life that you're shedding skin from. So yeah, that's interesting. It could even be that. Can manifest in very ways. Bow reading is very open. It is very open. So you say chapters are in 3 months increments. I wouldn't say it's a exact, strict, um, you know, I wouldn't say it's strictly like that. I think sometimes we can rush through a chapter, we can have a small chapter, or you know, but generally, yes, I would say generally on average, I would say. Um, so we're up to S. Leela. Um, but thank you, Kieran, for giving me what you want. That's very, that really helps. As the leader, if you could say what you wanted, that I would really appreciate that. Calling you an action witch, not witch. So she doesn't know what. Oh, I'm witch. Which one? Which? Who am I? I definitely think I have cords from others attached to me. Yes, so it's about releasing them. Firebird, no, you did not miss your. You're very late in the list. If I get to you, I'd be very, very grateful. You're very, very welcome, Candy. And Esther says choose for me, so that's great. Okay, I will do that. So let's see what we want to choose for S. Leela. I'm glad the rabbit skull didn't break. I think the varnish has done very well. Okay, so for you, I think I will choose. A bloodstone. Or oyster. I like the oyster. A pointing shell. A mouse skull. Haven't used that yet. And let's see. Let's give you chicken foot. Feeling drawn to that, so you don't have 5 there. Oh, I need another crystal, don't I? Let's give you. Let's give you a sunstone. Feeling drawn to the sunstone for you. Let me just try to. I need a drink as well. And I just try to fix this music while I'm at it. It's doing so well. Come on. Oh, hey, thank you. Okay, so we have chicken foot, oyster, mouse skull. Oh, it's gonna stuck to me. Mouse skull, which I must be careful with. Pointing shell, bloodstone, and sunstone. Okay, it's interesting when they don't part. So there's our mouse skull in here. Yes, okay. Interesting. So we have a few things that are current chapter and very connected a little bit. So, okay. So, if you can see that the bloodstone is just there. So, yeah, this is for Leela, by the way, just so you know. Pisces moon. Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. You're very welcome. Um, you're very welcome to the channel. We love new subscribers. I can add you to the list. Do bear in mind we have a very long list. We may not get to everybody, but if we do not, I'm doing this. So bone reading. I'm going to try to do this every other day. So there should be a stream every other day for this month. So if you are on the list, this is our priority list. And I'll tick Leela off because we're up to her now. So we do have Kieran, Samina, Sid, Pooja, Rain, Jasmine, Shelley, Firebird, Miss Venus, and then Pisces. So it is a very long list, but if I don't get to you on today's stream, you will be on priority list for the next one, which should be in 2 days. So yeah, do bear that in mind. Stay subscribed, click the notification bell, so you will know when I am next on, but it should be in 2 days. So if you don't get a reading today, please don't worry, you will get one. So this is for Leela. We have so yes, as I was saying with the bloodstone, if they completely fall off the mat, they're not meant for you. But as we can see, it's still kind of on it. So we are going to read this one. We are going to keep this and read it. If you can see that. So these have remained together, which is interesting. But as we know, we want the oyster to land this way. We don't want it to, flip around as it falls and be upside down, because that's a more negative way to have it. So these are the most they're kind of a little bit present, heading a little bit into distant future. So it might be something you notice soon, or pretty soon, or even in the present moment. But what we see, so the oyster, it overlaps the social and friendship and the love and partnership section. So it is about knowing what you deserve. The oyster is, it represents luxury. It's about knowing what you deserve and standing for what you deserve and getting what you deserve. So it can sometimes represent an improvement in your self-worth and your self-belief, in your self-confidence and things like that. So when it lands in social and friendships and love and partnerships, it can be about really valuing yourself and teaching people how to treat you, if that makes sense. So putting boundaries up, not letting people treat you negatively, and having more luck energy, especially as we do also have the chicken foot with the oyster. So we're really getting the luck messages here in social and friendships and love and partnerships. So that if there is issues, if people are pushing your boundaries, or you're seeing red flags in people that you're trying to connect with romantically, this could be resolved. But it does seem like a boost in self-confidence, and like I said, teaching people how to treat you, cutting people off who don't value you, and resonating and connecting with people who do. So it's a very positive omen for friendships and intimate relationships, romantic partnerships. But we also have the mouse skull in here, and the mouse skull has landed exactly on the ribbon as well. Very, very central. If you can see it, I don't know if you can see it in there because it's very tiny, but it is there. I'm pointing to it now. So it's landed pretty directly on the ribbon. And what the mouse represents is paying attention to small details. So not overlooking things, especially when it comes to, I know we talk about this a lot, but when it comes to to love and partnerships, we tend to have rose-tinted glasses on, especially in the beginning of a relationship, or sometimes all the way through. We get fooled. But it's about paying attention to small details. So it does resonate with the oyster shell because it's about those boundaries, paying very, very close attention to what people say and do, and taking that on board. If someone's saying and doing things that don't resonate with you and are crossing your boundaries, or crossing your morals and ethics, you do have to think about that. You do have to think about cutting them off, because you are getting more luck in these sections. So if you are going to come across these kind of people and you do have to cut them off or keep them at arm's length, more people are likely to step into your life in the very near future, more positive people. But it definitely is about coming more into um it definitely is about coming into more self-confidence and more self-worth, okay? And don't forget to pay attention to small details. That's exactly the message of the mouse school. So it's particularly when it comes to friends and intimate relationships. So what people are saying and doing, paying very close attention to that. But our chicken foot begins in career and business. So it's a positive omen, good luck in career and business in the near future. So if you're looking for a job or looking to maybe get into a side project or get more money or start a business or get a promotion, and whatever it might be regarding career and business, you're getting a very positive omen on that. And then the luck does kind of pass through the social and friendships. So again, like we were saying with, when you're putting your self-value first and you're paying attention to the small details like the mouse says, we're getting good luck in social and friendships. So that's good, positive. And then the claw, so where the claw point is all about that, like I said, clawing away any negativity. So if we do see any red flags or anything negative coming towards you when we're paying attention to the small details, you're likely to be protected from it. So you are likely to see it, you are likely to stand up against it, and maybe it's the wrong person and you cut them off, and then someone else more positive comes in. It could be like that. Or it could just be that resolve an issue. Sometimes it's resolving an issue. But yes, it's the claw is specifically protection. So protection around love and partnerships, which is good. But the positive omen is with career and business, and a little bit of luck in social and friendships. So very, very nice. Very nice to see. Our next one on the timeline is the pointing shell. Now, the pointing shell, again, we're very connected to social friendships and love and partnerships at the moment. So I would say that social energies at least beginning to become more important to you. I know I say this a lot when social and friendships comes up, but say yes to those social gatherings, go to events you want to go to, meet up with that old friend that you keep meaning to meet up with, arrange groups between your friends, just get out there, go to events, meet people, put your social energies at the forefront, because almost everything is landing in social and friendships. So it really does speak to the importance of your social energy at the moment. Your social battery might be more full, it might not drain as quickly. You might it's very positive in the social setting, so do make sure you're getting out there. But it starts in social and friendships, but it's pointing to advice and guidance. A lot of you guys are getting this lately, advice and guidance. So we're pointing here to advice and guidance. You may need to seek advice and guidance about your love and partnerships or about your friendships, because it crosses over both of those paths, or maybe both. Maybe you need advice about both. So don't be afraid to seek advice, ask for advice, take advice. Maybe someone gives you advice unwarranted, they just come out with it. Take it on board. It's like the mouse says, paying attention to small details. Those small details could include people giving you advice and guidance. So just, sometimes we overlook advice and guidance that people give us, and then after something happens, we think back and we're like, oh yeah, that person said that. So do think about that. take it on advice and guidance. Be open to it, I would say, especially if it's about friendships or partnerships. But then on the timeline, the Sunstone is the next one. So we are getting to a bit more distant future here with the Sunstone, but it's a positive. So Sunstone generally positive omen for abundance, particularly material abundance. But it does depend on the section it lands in. So it can be suggesting just an abundance of health and well-being. Maybe you come onto a very positive path with your physical health, mental health, spiritual health. Maybe you have a good balance between them. Maybe you start a new diet that's very good for you, or you exercise more, or there's something positive coming up in your health and well-being. It's very positive. But as the stone does link to abundance, sometimes it can be that you make abundance in the health and well-being sector. So again, getting a job that revolves around caring, nursing, even holistic therapies like Reiki or acupuncture, or they're just my examples. It could even be just like working in a health food store, it doesn't have to be anything super major, but getting some level of abundance in either just abundance of your own health and well-being, like being very healthy and very in good shape, or it can represent making money in that sector. So it depends how that manifests for you, but that's in the distant future. And the last one is our bloodstone, which lands in the social and friendship section. Again, we're getting a lot of energy in this section. Social and friendships. So social and friendships we have, it is grounding. Feeling grounded, feeling at home, feeling in the right place. So this is very distant future. So it may not be something that comes up right away, but it may be something that begins to align because of all of this going on. All of this might begin the alignment to this. It's feeling very at home, feeling very comfortable, maybe feeling like you've found some of your soul family, feeling very connected to people, being in positive communities that you're really welcome in. It's just feeling very grounded in social and friendships. Sometimes it can be like moving in with a friend, if you're in that kind of space where you because it's grounding, so it can be about like home as well. Maybe you move in with a friend or something like that, or a friend helps you with moving into a new home or whatever it is. But you're feeling very grounded and connected. You're feeling very at home, like soul family energy. It's very, very positive, but it is the most distant future one. So like I said, I think this makes some alignments to that. And the main guidance, I would say, pay attention to small details and take advice, especially about friendships and love partnerships. And Leela says, very nice reading and resonates 100%. I'm really glad to hear that. Do we still have Kieran? Do we still have Kieran in? Let me just read the comments here. Pisces Moon, it is lovely to have you. Yeah, this is Leela. Oh, Miss Venus says, hang out with us in the live streams. It's a fun place to be. Yes, we do have a lot of random conversations sometimes. Okay, Kieran is here. That's great. Leela says, really nice. It resonates 100%. You're very welcome, of course. I wish I had more time and could get to everyone. So we'll do Kieran, and then we'll see if we have time for maybe Sid. Is Sid still here? I'm not 100% on that. But guys, so we do have, so let me tick off the people who are done here as well. So Ankita, we're going to do Kieran now, so I'll tick you off. We did Leela. Leela was on here. Okay, so we do have still a bit of a long look. Oh, sorry, it's Samina, not Sid. I apologise. It's Samina, not Sid. I apologise. I said Sid. Why am I mixing up names today? I don't know. So Kieran's next, and then hopefully we have enough time to get to Samina. Let me check the time. Okay, it's 8 p.m. So if Kieran's reading is not too long, we should manage to get to Samina if Samina is still here. So okay. But if you're on the priority list, do stay tuned. Do click that notification bell. Like I said, bone readings should be every other day this month. So if you're on this list, you are going to get one eventually. And I hope I do connect with you. But yes, so we're going to Kieran now. This one will be Kieran. If you just give me a moment, guys, I just need to take a miniature break. I'll be 2 seconds. But yeah, Kieran, if you have any suggestions of what you want, do let me know. Out of the crystal shells and bones. And if you want me to choose any, I'm very happy to do that as well. But I will just be one moment. Won't be too long. Thank you for waiting. I appreciate that. So we will now get on with Kieran. So we are up to Kieran. And this is Kieran. I'm not making a mistake. This is Kieran. Okay. So we have chicken foot. I will choose. Let me see. I will choose. I'm stuck between snakeskin and rabbit toe. So I'm just going to choose your shells first. So I think Shiva shell. I think maybe I'm going to go for 3 crystals. I want to give you the love crystal. I feel drawn to that. I want to give you the sunstone. I know for a lot of you I've been drawn to the sunstone today. But yeah, it's just what I'm feeling. And I think I want to give you a clear quartz as well. Um, Actually, let's swap the love stone for the one I can't remember, but it's about what you need to pay attention to and learning. Can't remember the name of it. But I am going to give you the rabbit toe. So we have chicken foot, rabbit toe, Shiva shell. And I've done 1 shell because I've done 3 crystals. Sunstone, the one I can't remember, and the clear quartz. Okay. So that's what I'm guided to for you. So let's get to it. I'm muted on, so yes. Right, okay. So I am thinking of Kieran. This is for Kieran. please forgive me for my mistake. Right, okay. Okay. So the rabbit toe is first. So this is in health and well-being. So that's interesting because the rabbit toe, it does link anything linked to the rabbit is very kind of love energy. It is very love kind of energy. So health and well-being, love element landing in health and well-being can be very resonant of coming more into self-love, valuing yourself more, coming more into self-love, caring about yourself, caring more about your health and well-being, maybe, eating healthier, exercising more, going to, maybe getting the right medication if you have an ailment, going to healers. If you do have a block, you're going to a healer instead of ignoring the block. If the block persists, maybe you get Reiki or a cleanser. Maybe you're just looking after your physical, spiritual, and mental health a little bit more. Could be talking through issues, whether that's with a friend or a therapist, something like that. But when it lands in health and well-being, it is a little bit more about your self-love, loving yourself, taking on more, just focusing on yourself more, maybe just giving a little bit time, like a little bit more you time, a little bit more self-love, self-care, basically. So that's very nice, and that's in the near future, and we should always be doing that. But when we get busy with other things, and we have other things on our minds, and especially when we're empaths and we put other people first, we can sometimes forget that. So it is nice that that's coming up. Next on the timeline, I would say, is the attention stone, I will call it. So home and family, we have paying attention. There's something, so it's about learning and paying attention. So this is quite common in home and family because, like I always say, our blood family are more the family that we learn lessons from, and our soul family are more the ones that make us feel comforted, make us feel at home, make us feel, like we belong in the world. The family at home, there is sometimes issues, and that's not for everyone. I'm not saying that's generally for everyone, but there might be a life lesson. I think it's more about a life lesson with home and family, that you'll be learning. So pay attention to any, and life lessons as well. I do try to also reiterate this, that life lessons can be positive. They can be lessons of love. They can be lessons of power, of positivity, of connection, of just when it's home and family, it would generally be like connection. But again, it can link to family. It can be life lessons about family, which I kind of feel like maybe it is. But there's also home, and home can actually link to the physical home. So if you're moving into your first home, especially, this might come up because you're learning that lesson of living alone, or what it's like to live alone, or even if it's moving in with a partner, it's like a new step that I've never done before. Can sometimes link to the physical home as well. So do bear that in mind. And this is, it's in the near future. So if you're thinking about maybe moving home or something, it could link more to that. But if not, I would say it's more about like life lessons within the family. So it's definitely something to pay attention to. If you're thinking about moving, or if you're having any issues in the family, paying attention, because there's a life lesson to be learned either way. Whichever way that lands for you, there's a lesson to be learned, and you do need to pay attention to it. But as we move further out of the future, we're getting the Sunstone. So this is abundance, the abundance stone. So it's abundance. Abundance within the family generally could mean that someone in the family begins to earn more money, or there's more. There might just be more luck generally around the whole family. Can manifest like that. People, you begin to be served your good karma, especially in the material and monetary sense, because Sunstone is very linked with money and material abundance. But when it comes to home, it could be about, like I said, if there is anything about moving home or moving out, or anything to do like that, or renovating the home, or doing anything extra to the home, it can be like that goes very well. A lot of abundance of that, a lot of luck, a lot of positive energy, getting the place that you want. It's luck in home and family. So where you're learning life lessons here, you're then moving on to luck and abundance. So it looks like a positive progression. So it looks like whatever that lesson is, you are going to learn it, and luck is going to come, good karma is going to come, basically. But there could be some material abundance there, money, material abundance, things like that. So that's nice. I would say these are quite similar in their you know, where they are on the timeline. Like I said, as the ribbon moves out, we're further down the timeline. These are a little bit further down the timeline. Sorry, these are quite similar on the timeline. So we'll look first at the chicken foot. It overlaps, so it's interesting. So we're going from social and friendships. Good luck in social and friendships, maybe making new friends. It could even be social, can be networking sometimes. It's more will be networking if we're in this career and business section, but can sometimes link to that. But good luck in friendships. So if there's someone who needs to apologize to you, or you need to apologize to them, it's like that is coming, and positivity on that. Good luck, but also luck in love and partnership. And again, we're getting the claw, and the claw is again. There might be some negativity that's trying to come your way, but it's being grasped by the claw. The claw is making sure it doesn't get to you. So protection in love and partnerships. So this is a very positive omen. If you've had bad luck in this area, in love and partnerships, we're coming into luck and we're coming into protection. So that's very nice. And then the Shiva shell is very, very connected to this, and they're very close, and it's in the love and partnership section. And again, you are also getting it the right way, the way that we want it. So that is a very positive omen for the spiritual life path. But if it's landing in love and partnerships, that means connection with a spiritual partner. So it can be a soulmate, it can be a karmic relationship, it can be a twin flame. It's someone who you're spiritually connected to already on a spiritual level. So there might be some lesson, some lessons going about there. But again, it's a positive omen. And as I always say, some lessons can be positive. It might be a lesson of true love. It might be a lesson of resolving issues. It might be a lesson of evolving relationships. There can be positive lessons. But just to bear in mind that when it comes to spiritual connections, there is often lessons to learn, but that could be soulmate, twin flame, anything like that. So then we have, also in advice and guidance, we have clarity. So you are someone else. A lot of you guys are getting messages to be very mindful about advice and guidance. This is a little bit more in the distant future, but it's some advice that's going to be given to you that's going to give you a lot of clarity. So if there's any situation in the current chapter, you have fogginess, confusion on, something you're trying to work out, you're hesitant about, you're uncertain of, do make sure you're listening to any advice and guidance you get about that, especially if there's something you're confused on. Make sure you're listening to advice about that. Seeking advice, going for readings, talking to friends, talking to mentors, teachers, whatever it might be. But really being humble to listen to advice and guidance, because you will gain clarity on something that you don't have clarity on at the moment. There's a veil somewhere. There's a little bit of confusion or a veil that's where you're not seeing something fully clearly right now, but you will do. You're coming to clarity in the pretty near future. So, well, you can see where it is. It's near future. So yeah, that was Kieran. So I hope you enjoyed the reading, and I think we will just is Samina still here? Do we have Samina still in the chat? Let's see if we still have Samina, and I'll read the comments. So we have Percy says, by age 30, a woman's eggs have depleted by 90%. Why are you saying that? We don't need to know that on the stream. Very strange. So Sid says, I'm back. Is there any chance you'll get to meet? Well, if Samina's not here, yes, you're next. So I'm just going to give a moment to see if Samina is here, and then if we do not get a reply from Samina in a couple of seconds, couple of minutes, we'll go with Sid, and Sid will be the last one, or Sid or Samina will be the last one, because I do have to get to work. But so I will update I'll update the priority list, and I'll post it as well. So you guys can see who's on priority, and of course, if Samina isn't in, she'll be first, and then it'll be Pooja. You know, oh well, actually, this list is this list is more priority than this one. Sorry, so that these people will be first on priority, but all depends on who comes into the stream. Kieran, you're very welcome. I'm just going to give one more moment for Samina, and then if not, we will go with Sid. So thank you, Sid, for being present. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll just go with Sid. We'll go with Sid, but Samina will move up in priority for the next one. That's okay, and hopefully she can make it. So let's go with Sid. Sid, would you choose? Or do you want to choose, or do you want me to choose? I'm curious as why was confusion between me and Ankita earlier. I think I read a message from you thinking it was from Ankita. So yeah, I apologize for that. You know, everyone makes mistakes. There's not much I can do about that. I'm really sorry. Well, I apologize. All I can do is apologize. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean, you know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I got to you. You got a reading, so you know, all is well. I hope. I hope. You know, it wasn't my intention to make a mistake, so I do apologize. Oh, Sid, can you choose for me? Sorry, I didn't see that. Yes, of course. So let's do. We will do. Foxtooth. And snakeskin for our animal elements. We'll do oyster and pointing shell for our. Actually, do I want the Shiva shell for Sid? I want the Mookite, definitely. I might do 3 shells. So you have 3 shells, 1 crystal, and 2 animal elements. That's what I'm feeling. For Sid, so let's get on with Sid's reading. Everything? Oh. So again, we're looking at the foxtooth there. If you can see it, it has it's still slightly on the mat, so we will still read it. When they fall off completely and they're not touching it, we don't read it, but it is slightly there, so I will read it. Okay, so we begin with the pointing shell. Is in our current chapter, and it's a bit interesting because it's pointing directly to this ribbon. So it's kind of like in between social friendships and love and partnerships. So it is telling you to pay extra attention to those at the moment in this current chapter. It could be, it could be revolving around socializing more. When the pointing shell points to social and love and partnerships, it's telling us to, you know, socialize more, connect with people more. Maybe you're going to make new friends, new connections. It is just kind of that energy of like your social energy. Oh, sorry, I hit the screen. Your social energy is heightening. You're being guided to get out more. I know it's cold right now, but sorry, let me just have a drink. I know it's cold right now, but yeah. I mean, it could even just be socializing online. Make sure you're still connecting with your communities. Maybe there's old friends you need to catch up with. You know, maybe it's because it's love and partnership as well. Could be a little bit of you know, talking to Ed a little bit more. You know, having a few more. You know, it could be in your mind or in meditation or in prayer. But yeah, talking to Anne a little bit more, and make sure you're keeping up with your friends and your old friends, keeping up with them, and making new friends, being open to making new friends, and being very prominent in your communities. So, and you do that here. You're very prominent here. You're always in the chat, and you've been in the chat a lot more lately. So I feel like, you know, this it is present moment. I feel like you are kind of doing it, but maybe there's some guidance of um actually going out more, you know, meeting friends in person. It could be a little bit of guidance like that. um then our next one on the timeline would be our Mukite, which is an advice and guidance. So this is very interesting because it links to mental health, anxiety, and self kind of confidence, you know, very kind of solar plexus energies, if you will, in this reading. So it's advice and guidance. So it is about seeking advice and guidance. You know, maybe if you feel like you need therapy for something, you can seek that. There's no, you know, that's very good for balancing mind, body, and spirit. But it could just be talking to friends, seeking advice and guidance from friends or from, you know, like communities like this, you know. Um, but yeah, it is about any advice and guidance on your mental health, your self worth, anxieties. You know, me and you have been talking a little bit about your anxieties, so it does kind of resonate. Where giving you a little bit of advice, you know, stopping the pendulum for a little bit, trying not to overthink and not worry. You know, it kind of resonates to me with things we have spoken about. But in the near future, maybe it's that you take that advice on a little bit more. You connect a little bit more with that, and maybe that improves. You know, it could be releases of anxieties, releases of stresses, releases of worries due to taking on the right advice and guidance. So that's quite nice. Um, New people in the chat, I will be with you soon. I'm just going to finish this reading. So so yeah, anything like that kind of resonates with me. It's in the near future, but maybe it's just that it takes time for you to, you know, really take that advice on and release that anxiety, you know. Next on the timeline would be our Shiva stone, Shiva shell, sorry. Now, this is, it's not, but unfortunately you've drawn it not the way we want it. You see, we do want the spiral at the, oh, it's not in focus, is it? But yeah, I think you've seen it before. We generally want the spiral to come out on top, but for you it did not. I think it was slightly on the ribbon there as well. So it's in Spirit and Self, which it is a very spiritual stone. It is about your spiritual life path, you know, your spiritual self. So with that, I would say, um, you know, it seems like in the near future, there's still a bit of a block of connecting with guides. It could even just be, you know, you're really trying to get your spiritual sight up where you're fully seeing spirit, fully connecting with this, the spirit family and seeing them fully. It could just be saying that you're not quite there yet in the near future. Hopefully, as we move out, hopefully that does happen. But there's still a little bit of a disconnect, a little bit of, maybe it's just you still get a bit of interference in your readings, you know, things like that in the near future. I don't feel like it's super serious, but I do feel like it's just a little bit of disconnect on your spiritual connection, you know, how you're spiritually connected. So it did land slightly on the ribbon. So it might be that there's some advice and guidance that can help to flip this around the way we want it. So I would say again, you're someone here who you do have to really listen to advice and guidance because you're getting a lot of elements falling into this section. So, you know, be humble. Remember that we constantly shift from the teacher and student role. sometimes you will be in the teacher role when you teach people things, but when people give you advice and guidance, you have to sit humbly in that student role, take on that advice and guidance very positively, and just try your best, your best will do. Just do as best as you can, and don't be hard on yourself. Especially, don't be hard on yourself, the stone says. So we also have the snakeskin and the oyster pretty close in timeline, but I would say the snakeskin's a little bit sooner. So you have shedding of old skin in love and partnership and advice and guidance. So this is a positive omen for you taking advice and guidance. If you're shedding old skin in the advice and guidance section, it does say that you're going to take that advice because you're releasing things. So of course you must be taking the advice. You're releasing things from the past. You're releasing stresses, anxieties, and worries. Maybe even releasing blocks on your spiritual path, because these are all very connected in the same kind of section. So you're releasing things. So as we move a little bit more into the future, you are going to release these stresses, worries, any spiritual issues that you might be going on. You're going to release them. So that's a positive omen. But as we can see, the snakeskin also lands in love and partnership. So shedding some old skin from love and partnerships. Now, to me, this really resonates because you have a lot of dreams of exes. There's been a lot of cords or fraying coming to you from exes. So to me, this is a very positive omen of finally releasing that final going for good, So yes, in love and partnership, Sid, releasing that. So maybe it's like you don't dream of them anymore. They're not coming into your mind anymore. You might have a full release in this near future. So maybe it takes a little bit of time. You've had some work as well surrounding things like that. Oh, sorry. Maybe it takes time to shift. Get it back to horse because we need to see the fox tooth. Sorry about that, guys. Knocked you over. I'm so sorry. So yes, that's a very positive omen to me that you're going to release. So we have the oyster shell. It's on its side. So generally, it's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of you're closed off in some way, but you're open in some ways. So when it's completely this, we'll just do the example with this shell. When it's completely this way, we're being closed off about something. When it's completely open, it's the positive way. So the oyster's on its side. The closed off section is more in the health and well-being, and the open section is more in home and family. So that's kind of giving us a bit of a message, if you can see that. So you may be being you may not be being as mindful and as open and as because the oyster represents what we deserve, the luxury, what we deserve, stepping into our power and all of those things. So you're not doing best in your health and well-being. So you need to keep going for your checkups. You need to keep being mindful of any symptoms, making sure you're getting the right medications. If something doesn't work for you, make sure you're speaking out about that, changing it, getting the right healing, which you do that a lot. So I think you're very positive on that side, but maybe just keeping that up a little bit in terms of for your own health and well-being, and eating right and exercising more. So maybe you need to get out a bit more, again, like with the social and friendship as well. Maybe it is about getting out a bit more, and maybe it is about eating the right foods. Maybe maybe your diet isn't quite right. So there's a little bit of a guidance on that. But the open section is pointing to home and family. So we're getting a positive omen on home and family. You're getting what you deserve. You could be being cared for very well. There might be a very positive advancement in the home and family where people come together more, or someone who might have been distant in the family comes back. Someone who's fallen out with members of the family might apologize. It's getting what you deserve in the family realm and in the home realm as well. So it could be about I know you're between your, you know, your parents and your own home. Maybe it's about going back to your own home eventually. Maybe it's, you know, this positive energy of going to your own home. But great connection with family. It's a positive omen on connection with family and on anything to do with home. So whether it's moving home, staying at someone else's home, going back to your own home, there's just very positive energy about that. You getting what you deserve in home and family. So it's very nice. It's a very nice message for home and family. So yeah, it's just really positive omen. And then we have your very last one. The foxtooth did still land slightly on the mat, so we will read it, and it's in spirit and self. So what you have to remember here, so the foxtooth is about um you being, it's like you're being blamed for something, but you're in the right. So if this is definitely in the distant future, but if something comes up where, especially related to your spiritual life path, your spirit and self, your, you know, your spiritual growth, or your own spirit, or anything to do with like spirit guides or your higher self, you know, someone might be telling you, giving you wrong information, and you might get like a message or a download or something from your guides, and then someone might give you alternate information to it. The message is that you're in the right. The foxtooth says that you're in the right. If someone puts blame on you for anything, especially in a spiritual sense or anything like that, someone's putting blame on you, just remember that you are in the right. So this is definitely distant future, but it's just guidance. You're in the right. You're not to blame. You're correct. So, you know, it's not necessarily about standing up for yourself, but it's just about knowing that you're in the right. Maybe you do want to just cut that person off, you know, or ignore them, but just knowing that you're in the right is the main thing with the fox tooth. So, let me just read the comments. Tanita, hello and welcome. Tanita, you are on the priority list, but you're in too late. I am leaving now, I do apologize, but you are still on the priority. So what I did was, people that came in, so I only read for people present. I don't do readings for people that aren't here. So the people that were on the priority list that came in got a reading, and then the people that weren't, of course, didn't. And we did one reading for someone who wasn't on priority because we managed to get that far, but you're still on priority. So we have Jamini, Anaket, Samina, Risha, Candy, Tam, Carolyn, Tanita, so there you are, Johanna, Lula, Goody, Liverpool, Pooja, Rain, Jasmine, Shelley, Firebird, Miss Venus, and Pisces are all on the priority list for the next one. But guys, if you have not managed to get your reading this time, this reading should be happening every other day. So it will be at varying times, so I can try to get all of you available, because I know you're all in different time zones. So what I would say is just click the notification bell and definitely check in. You will be getting a reading. You definitely will be getting one if you're on the list, because you're priority, but I will be doing one every other day. So yes, you will manage to make one eventually. Just look out for me. Try to maybe check my post tab, because I do post. I try to post like an hour or two before I come live, so it's a good idea to check in on my post tab occasionally. Because I know the notification bell doesn't work for everyone, or sometimes people get notified when I'm like halfway through the stream. It's very annoying. So Samina, unfortunately, we did have to skip you, because we did ask for you, we waited, we gave you a moment. Unfortunately, we had to skip you. But you are, so now you are fared on the priority list. So if you make it next time, you'll be fared. So hopefully your internet is better next time. It'd be lovely to read for you. But I'll take Sid off the priority, and I'll update the priority list, beginning with the first priority, and then adding you guys from the second priority to the end of the list. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to try to fit this in every other day this month, so you should get a reading. That is, you know, we got through 5 today, and instead of 4. which is good. We're getting a little bit better. So we may get through Domini, Aniket, Samina, Risha, and Candy next time, maybe. Depends who's in, you know? Sometimes not many people come in. So even if you're very late on the list, if you're first in, you get the first reading, you know? So it is about first come, first serve as well. But people from priority do go first. So yeah. Love, light, and blessings to everyone. Apologies if you did not get a reading, but please do still like the video if you have not liked it. The more people that like the videos, the more I see it. It's like voting to me. It's like the more likes on a video, the more I think, okay, people want me to do that again. So I do appreciate, even if you didn't get your reading today, that you would like the stream. Goody, hello and welcome. I hope you are well. Sid, you're welcome for the reading. Goody, hello and welcome. I'm finishing now, unfortunately, but you are still on the priority list. You are here. So you're, you can't see that. You're here. So you are still on it. So hopefully, like I said, I'm going to try to come back every other day with this one. So, and maybe one time I'll have time for a longer stream, you know, it generally tends to be around 2 hours. Maybe one day I'll get a 3-hour time slot and we can do a bit more. So yeah, do look out for me, click that notification bell, and yeah, I really hope to see you soon. I really hope to connect with you. And apologies for those who did not get that reading yet, but you will get one. You will get one. This is going to be the main reading for this month, bone reading. So love, light, and blessings to each of you. And I really, really hope to connect with you soon. If you're on priority, it's first come, first serve. So just try your best to be checking in with me and keeping up with what I'm doing. Love, light, and blessings. And I really hope to connect with you ASAP.